It is Friday, the 19th of July, 2024, and we're looking at the almost full moon rising in Montreal, NDG. There's this television or radio transmission tower that I thought I would juxtapose with the moon. We'll let it rise up past the tower here. We might make a few adjustments while that's happening. I did do some video earlier, fairly boring video with just the moon in the grayish sky. But I thought it might be fun to get this juxtaposition here. Just checking the focus, it might be slightly off. And it can't be on both the moon and the tower in any case. It's sort of one or the other. I mean, it's close to infinity, but there are differences. I can't really focus on both things 100%. But stop down at f11. They're more or less both reasonably sharp, shall we say. And it's kind of interesting how the moon is just making its way across the sky, getting higher. I will soon adjust the angle of the camera, but I just want the moon to get right up near the top of the frame before doing that. And then I will try to position things, still filming, like I'm not going to stop the camera. I'm going to keep filming. It's going to get a little jiggly, but okay, I guess now's as good a time as any. So we shall move. Whoops! Yeah, see, this is okay. That's all right for the left to right part. And oh, look, we got that kind of nice. So we got the Let's just go a little higher here. Too much higher. Okay, that looks pretty well bang on. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a bit jiggly while I'm doing the adjustments. Okay, so now we're just going to let the moon rise up through the frame here with this nice little red light flashing on and off. So I don't know if I mentioned the exposure, but it's a 30th of a second f11, 640 ISO, maybe a bit underexposed. Could perhaps be 800 ISO, but I'm not going to change the exposure now. I always prefer a little darker exposure than too light. You can usually adjust things to bring out shadow detail later, especially in still photos, which we're not doing right now. And one of the reasons we're not doing still photos is the whole vibration issue. Like right now, I can have the lens relatively stable with no vibration because there's no shutter going or anything. It's basically purely electronic exposure in the video mode. There's no actual shutter going on and off, no mechanical shutter. So you don't have to worry about shutter vibration. I might actually get a better, sharper image this way than I would if I shot with a mechanical shutter. Unfortunately, this camera doesn't have a purely electronic shutter for the stills mode. Some of the more newer mirrorless cameras have that. I think even some of the later DSLRs, one or two of them might have had a purely electronic shutter mode when you're in live screen mode, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But I like what I'm seeing here. Like I said, a bit darker than, I should say the sky is a bit darker than what I'm seeing. The moon is about right. The light on top of the tower is about right. So we are properly exposed for the moon and the light on the tower. So the sky's somewhat dark. That's just got to do with the dynamic range of the camera. This camera has very good dynamic range, up there with the best of them. Maybe not quite, maybe a half stop less than the most. The camera with the best dynamic range these days, but not too far off. I'm not sure what the dynamic range is in the video mode, to be honest, but in the stills mode it's very high. I think about the order of 14 stops, certainly 13 stops. But I'm very happy. Like, I spent $40 this morning on this 3x teleconverter just to see what it would do for me. I know that 3x teleconverters have a pretty bad reputation in terms of sharpness, but this doesn't look too bad. And now with modern software, it would probably be possible to tweak this to make it that little bit sharper. Any lack of sharpness could be dealt with with a post-processing. So the moon's getting up near the top of the frame there, so I'm going to raise the camera a bit, and I'll maybe move a little bit to the right. Let's come back a bit here. That looks pretty good to me. And I'm debating adjusting the exposure, not by much. I don't think I will right now. I think I'm going to let the moon completely clear the tower before doing anything. But this is a fun little image, like I've almost got my $40 for it already. As I said, I'm reasonably happy with this. I'm looking at the screen, this isn't critical sharpness, but it looks quite sharp on the screen to me. So we're going to let the moon move across here. And you know what? Oh, did a plane go through or something? I thought I just saw like a vapor trail or something going across the moon. At first I thought it was a wire. I don't see any, there wouldn't be a wire. So I think I didn't notice it earlier, but I think a plane might have flown through the scene here, so I'll have to check my video later. But yeah, I think we shall, we'll let the moon get up near the top and the right side there. And then I'll just go back to getting just the moon. There's nothing else I can align it with. There's nothing high enough from this position to be able to do that. So again, just let the moon rise up through the frame there. The sky is getting darker and darker. It's a lot darker than what I'm seeing. I can tell you right now, I'm seeing a pale gray sky, whereas we're seeing a dark gray sky here. So that's it. We will do some adjustments, and I think including changing the camera position a little, and then we will take another clip.